cask conditioning of ales, or firkin, is a traditional British style of brewing that originated centuries ago.
Yeah, and tomorrow you're going to be able to check it all out at Ivywild, the 11th annual Firkin Rendezvous. John Martin is live this morning. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, Justin and Kimberly. Absolutely. As promised, I'm going to talk as little as possible so you can hear from the man himself, Mike Bristol. Bristol, we were hanging out at Ivywild talking about the 11th annual Firkin Rendezvous. First of all, for people, we tried to explain. I tried to write it into the notes. So what is Firkin?
Well, Firkin's an interesting term. So it harkens back to old England.
Yeah.
And so what brewers would do is they would brew the beer. They'd put it in a cask. It would ferment in the cask. It would be served from the same cask.
Sure.
No extra CO2 put in. So it's a very traditional way of doing it. Firkin is actually a size of cask.
Okay.
So it's a little less than 8 gallons. The English had all kinds of weird units of measure back then. So
is that this right here?
So that is a firkin. Now they also have larger ones, which are called hogsheads, and smaller ones called pins. So they have, I don't know where they got all the terms. So that's the easiest size to deal with. Most brewers use that. So the firkin has kind of been interchangeable with cask ale,
sure.
really. So it's a fun. I mean, for us, it's fun because the beer in a firkin it's the only one. So you could line up. You could do the same thing in 3 firkins. They're all going to be a little different because everything is happening inside the cask.
And these the drinks, the beers that people can have tomorrow here at Ivywild. They're maybe one of a kind. Like you're not going to have the chance to taste these anywhere else.
Most all of them will be, including ours. We have the 2 that we're bringing. It's the only time you'll be able to get them. I mean, we may do them again, but they'll turn out differently next time.
Right, absolutely.
You know? And that's what's kind of fun about it. There's 36 different beers that you're not going to get anywhere else.
You were one of the original founders of the Brewers Guild. The proceeds from this event go to that. We've talked about it all morning, but the significance of the Guild and why, as one of the founding fathers, why it's so important that people are aware of.
Well, the Guild's just important because we need to remind people about what sort of economic impact craft brewing has in Colorado. The great flavors. We can educate people about beer.
Sure.
I mean, craft beer is really part of Colorado, and so we spend a lot of time educating consumers. We spend a lot of time educating our legislators so that we have this great environment to operate in. So it's an important piece, and we learned early on that we're much more effective together than splintered.
Absolutely, and $40,000 in 11 years. That's.
Yeah, this thing started pretty small. There was 7 breweries, and we were packed in our tiny warehouse in our old facility. I mean, it's come a long way.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, tomorrow, the 11th annual Firkin Rendezvous happens here at Ivywild. VIP is sold out. From 2 o'clock to 5 o'clock, though, for $35. You can come. You get this nifty glass that Byram's showing off right now. T-shirts are available, and lunch.
And lunch, yeah. Barbecued pork sandwiches.
Yeah, there it is, man. So hop the cab, hop the Uber, whatever you want to get here through the snow. Enjoy yourself until 5 o'clock, and then get on with your day, probably at home. With a good nap.
Yeah, and John, the timing is perfect because literally after 5 o'clock, like Saturday night into Sunday, that's when the worst of this stuff's going to hit.
Absolutely. So get here and have a few drinks, socialize, have some good food, and then get on home, hunker down, and watch some Netflix.
All right, sounds good. And,
man.
And NASCAR on Sunday. We love it. Thanks, Johnny.
Dang on, man. Boogity, boogity, boogity.
John is a little excited about
Just
NASCAR.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit. I am too.
I know.